Welcome in, everybody. We are doing a video finally for some more Star Citizen content, and it is going to be focused around the Daymar Rally. So settle yourself in, and hopefully you enjoy the video and it's very informative. We're just going to go over some details within the just the details of the rally, and also we're going to do a little review of the Carrick in this video as well. So if you've never seen the Anvil Carrick, one of the biggest ships in the game, I have at the minute, because I've pledged for a Galaxy, which is in production. Basically, it's in development, so that's going to be, while we're waiting for that to be released, anyone that has pledged for that ship will get a Anvil Carrick. So we're going to give a little tour. I'm going to be having that as a toy in the game for a little while. Let's change scenes here so you can kind of see the slideshow in the background of some cool screenshots. Yeah, so for Daymar Rally, I'm going to show you a little video in a minute. I'm going to have the music off just for copyright reasons. I've got some of my music in the background, but we're going to see how awesome it looks, and also look at the rally in stats, some of the details of the rally, which are pretty impressive, the amount of people involved, from the staff to the participants. It's just nuts. And this is all started from a community founded sort of org, should we say, and they've turned into an esports org that's literally organizing events from stuff that's not really built into the game. They've came up with kind of like racing ideas as such, and events, and there's fights as well. There's the Hurst and Hurt Locker, which is like a PvP event. This is the Daymar Rally, which has 3 categories. You have the buggies, the tumbrils RC that we're using, the trucks as well, and then there's hoverbike category. So you're going to see all that. I'm going to be streaming this Saturday live on Facebook and Twitch. We're going to be probably starting around, I thought the racing was starting at 4 PM UTC, but that's when coverage is going to start. We're going to be doing the briefing together there, and then that's going to be then. So that's going to be 11 AM Eastern time. That's going to be starting from, but we're looking at probably an hour or two after that when the race starts off. Probably about an hour or so before, but if you after that, shall I say, but an hour or so before, we're going to be like talking about the race. You'll see us setting up, you'll be seeing us getting all the vehicles ready and getting to the starting line, and yeah, hopefully everything's going to go smoothly. We've just had an update in the game, so fingers crossed we're going to not have any issues of connections and stuff like that, but there are kind of rules and stuff set in place. We'll go over that on the day. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to watch this video. So let me drag that down to here, and let's bring this full screen. And as I said, I did say I was going to mute this, so just for copyright reasons, but it looks awesome. I don't think this is buffering at top quality, but we're doing this in one take, folks, so you're gonna have to deal with it, unfortunately. If you want to see this video, head over to Star Citizen or Robert Space Industries on Twitter, or Atmo Esports on Twitter, and you'll be able to see the full video and go over it yourself. But it looks incredible, and this is one of the checkpoints, by the way, in the rally, where you have to run in, hit the kiosk to check in the filthiest race in the verse. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I really like that. Right, I did save these photos, but I can't see where I've saved them, so we're just going to use their social media here. So, forgive the taskbar at the bottom. This is the stats of the race. Now, I'm in the way here. I'm going to have to spin me chair out of the way, ain't I? Whoa! How many? So, we've got 35 trucks here as the bottom stat, 131 buggy teams, 35 truck teams that is, and 48 bike teams. I realise I'm well away from the mic. I'm going to spin around here. 766 races, 1,000 total participants. So that means obviously you've got the racers, and then some people have teams. We have a team of 3 or 4, I believe. So we're going to have like a pilot or 2 pilots, and I'm going to be the backup driver in my team, and then we have Check Leak, who's going to be the main driver. So if he crashes or anything happens there, I'm going to be ready in the support vehicle, flying overhead of the race and ready to jump into one of the spare buggies that we have in the cargo holds and jump into the race. There is all rules again in regards to that, so check by the stream on Saturday just to find more information. I don't want to go into too much detail here. Next part, 1,500 vehicles as well. 1,000 spare vehicles. Obviously, that's going to be us with our backup vehicles and other stuff as well. 290 plus staff ships, 3 CO hover quads, 23 dragonflies, and 19 hour per Noxes. So they're hover bikes. I don't know if you can choose in the bike teams what vehicle you're running. I presume everyone's going to have dragonflies. The other hover bike is going to be maybe just support vehicles or camera. You got 8 Grey Cat STVs, 120 Cyclone RCs, so that's what we're going to be riding, and 25 Ursa Rovers and 13 Anvil Spartans. So the Ursa Rovers looks like the Buggy team, but I'm pretty sure it's the... We'll find out. I'm going to find out in the day. We're learning as we go here with the trucks, so I haven't really looked at the other categories. Countries as well, 104 USA teams, 25 French teams, 23 German teams, and 23 UK teams, plus 35, or over 35 additional countries as well. So that is just crazy amount of vast this is. So that's yeah, pretty damn cool. Another thing I wanted to show you as well. This is what you can win as well. In-game vehicles that are worth quite a lot for each division as well. And you get real life merch, IRL merch, not actually in game. So this is stuff that you can buy on the Atmo website. So go check that out. And another one, where are we? This is the promotional post, which I thought really cool. Presented by Game Glass, 21st of January. It's tomorrow, Saturday, 21st of January at 4 p.m. UTC. Okay, that's 11 a.m. Eastern. That's when it's starting from. And you can see that we have our logo on there as an official sponsor. The org I'm part of, I'm racing under right here. It's really cool. We do have our own post as well that we had put up. So that's pretty cool. So shout out to everyone that's involved with the org. There is a lot of you in there. And if anyone wants to get help starting to play Star Citizen, really good bunch of people in the Discord there. So just drop me a DM and I can kind of like show you the way there. But Delta Blue Aerospace, there's a lot of different divisions. We're going to have it within that org. So basically when the game starts going into beta and full development, there's going to be a lot of kind of jobs and stuff you can do. And it's either kind of like, think of it as a RP side of things, or literally just so you're doing a mission and you need a mechanic or like a refueler or anything that transpires. We're going to have like dedicated people in certain sections and stuff like that, which would be really cool. So yeah, get involved and come along. And this game is so much better when you have people that know what they're talking about and actually experienced all the issues, because it is in an alpha still, and actually being able to kind of help you through these and just, you know, the scope of this game, it's just more fun playing with other people. So it's just one of them games that you really do want to find a community to play with. So go and find yourself an org, come and try us out if you want. But yeah, let me know. As I say, message me on any social media or inbox for that. And also, checking out this is all the security organizations involved with making sure no one gate crashes the rally and everything runs smoothly. So, as I say, the Daymar Rally 2953 is not filled with passionate, not only filled with passionate racers and tournament organisers, but also those who want to protect. A big thank you to the incredible security orgs for providing their time to protect the rally. Visit all the org links below. So there they are. So check them out on Twitter if you want to. But it's a pretty cool shot there as well. And there's all the orgs there as well. So there's obviously dedicated ones just for security, and some that do bounty hunting, all that kind of stuff, and others that do a bit of everything. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see. Atmo esports, so that's their tag on Twitter if you want to go check them out. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to jump into the video and we're going to see basically, I'm going to narrate over it. I filmed it without, because I had background audio at the time. So when I was doing the footage, I was just recording it. And yeah, I'm going to talk over the top of it and give you details in regards to what's going on, some tips in the rally, and we're going to do the Carrick tour to start the video off as well as after we land. So enjoy the video, and please hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe if you're watching on the YouTube. If you keep checking out this clip or this video on any of my other platforms like Facebook, please go over to my YouTube. This is where I'm primarily going to be putting this kind of content out there. But I will be looking to live stream on Twitch and Facebook this Saturday. If I can get a YouTube stream working as well, if I get a chance to test that, we might even do all three at the same time, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and much appreciate you checking by the video and watching this intro and a bit more info about the Daymar Rally, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace out, guys. And welcome into the start of the footage here as I'm coming into land on Daymar in my Carrick here. So we're just going to admire the views here, and then we might shortcut to when I land, and we're going to do a little tour of the Carrick. First time I've done this on a video. It's a very impressive ship. Gives me we think it's Star Wars vibes from the back there, just with the wing layout and the thrusters. I'm trying to get a good shot here. Apparently it's just like a screenshot simulator, and it's very hard to control because it's almost like inverted controls, which I do not get on with when I'm kind of trying to pan around and control the pitch and stuff with my mouse while I'm moving around as well. So we're going to come into land. Just the detail in this planet is just incredible, because you can see like all the craters and the canyons and stuff. This is what we're going to have to try and traverse through in the Daymar Rally. And it's just, this is just one of the moons in the game on around one of the planets in one of the systems that potentially is going to be up to 100 systems in the future. So that's a lot of planets and stuff, but even 2, 3 or 4 systems is going to be nuts. Here we are. Look, the reason I've kind of gone higher here, someone just flew past me as well, or jumped in or jumped away, and that's what I'm looking around for. I'm like, what the hell was that noise? So you can see obviously all the craters. The reason I've gained a bit of altitude here is just to show you the scope of the map, and like I say, the map, the planet, but the map in regards to the racing map and the track and what potential kind of obstacles we're going to have. And you can see some of the mountains in the distance to the right, and that's going to be part of the course that we go over is around them. So dealing with that. But yeah, it's just the scope is crazy. Now, this is me trying to find my way to the correct point now. You're going to see me floating about like lost. I'm trying to find my travel point, which I think is off to the left here, maybe. Is it this one here? No, that's security post, so I think it's below me as well. And it's very kind of sluggish because this ship is very big. I'm like, where are you? Where are you? Am I directly above it? We'll find out. There it was. I went past it. I'm like, no, travel back, I saw it. It's right below me here. So we're going to now travel towards that. And with some clever editing, we've jumped ahead to right above the mining facility where the race starts. I believe this is section 1 anyway. It's like, luckily I'm not the prime racer here, but as I say, I'm like sounding not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure this is where it starts, and we race to one of the other mining facilities or kind of outposts on the planet, and once we get there, then we can check in and go. So one thing to be aware of, by the way, is they've changed the kind of... This is terrible flying, by the way. Just pardon me. I'm not on my joystick for this one, which I do find a little bit easier to control. I'm just doing a spin around here, 180. I think I go to land on the platform as well and realise my ship's too big and then have to land. Yeah, see, this is very sluggish to control. Carrick maybe was not the best choice, but we're going to fit the buggy inside it. We got some good shots anyway from it, so I'm glad we did that. Yes, anyway, I digress. We are going to be starting here and then going to a checkpoint and then carrying across, and they've recently changed the speeds of the land vehicles to be, let's say, more realistic maybe. So it's basically made the race to be even longer, so it's much more of an endurance-y event as such compared to previous years with the changes. Now, they did buff them a little bit in in regards to increasing the speed for the buggies that we are using. Slightly, I'm not sure on the other categories if they did, but I feel like they obviously they were aware that they lowered it too much. So you can now just admire me landing here and going, oh no, my footprint of my ship is just going to like crush everything. I'm just going to land on top of the actual buildings here. It does show how big this ship is though. Like the landing strut here is bigger than one of them buildings, and them buildings you can fit quite a few people in. So the orange ones, by the way, are like the delivery post. So if you ever have like delivery missions, you're more likely to go to one of them. And then the blue building is, as you can see, the platforms next to it is where you'll spawn your vehicles in. You can spawn your like mining vehicles, like your rocks, and then also your tumbrils, which I do here as well. So we've landed, we are settled, and we're going to go get the tumbril out. So I'm going to shortcut to that part just so this video is not ridiculously long. And I was going to just cut straight to it, but then I realized I can close the doors remotely now. We're just testing this theory out, and we're also going to admire how good the Carrick looks and how good this planet looks. It's just incredible, the detail in this. So this is where I'm going to get out and go down, and I think we start, actually I say that we're going to get the tumbril out, we actually do the Carrick tour here. So just ignore what I've previously said, we're going to have a little tour around the ship. So that's the between the two decks you can get to. We're going to go through here. This is the captain's quarters. You can kind of see out there the exposure is kind of horrible, and there is a bathroom and stuff in the captain's quarters that we completely missed. There's a sleeping quarters and shower and stuff. This is futuristic pool, which I so wanted to play in real life. That definitely will get your physics going with working out the angles from that. So this is the medical area as well. So this is the only ship that has the respawn point in it with a medical bed. So normally you would use a space station medical bed, and you can either have a space port on the ground or a space station where you can spawn at. You have a little doctor's office here as well. Just a detail in the window there, like the markings on the window, like the wear and tear. You can see from the torch I'm using for lighting in the game. It's just, this is the medical bed you'd be able to lie down on. And am I going to do it now? I don't know if I decide to lie down. No, I do. So you can actually see what it's like. But your stats will go up. You'll get connected to an IV, and then your energy and your hydration will go up. So this is a good way of, if you forgot to drink and eat and you haven't got any food on you, if you've got one of these beds on your ship, great. So the only I think there's two other ones maybe. I think there's a red cutter with maybe a medical bed in it. I'm trying to remember now. But there's definitely the C8R, which is the Pisces, which is quite a small ship. It's a very good starter ship. That has a medical bed in it, which you can get your energy and hydration back, but it's not a respawn point. So as you can see, regeneration there, that is what you need on a bed to be able to respawn at it. There will be ships in the future that you can do that as well with. So say I come along with a ship, and you're going to see that it's got a built-in hangar. I can fly along with this, have a respawn point in the medical bay here, and I can then go to go take a ship out from the hangar, or drive a buggy out from underneath, go do some mining, and say I somehow get blown up by a bounty hunter or something. Not that I'd have a bounty on me if I was doing that, but just as an example, you can then respawn back to your ship nearby, which is nice. So this is one of the inbuilt, there's obviously 3 elevators actually in the ship. So we have 4 different decks there: cartography, technical, habitation, and subdeck. And I think I decided to go to cartography so I can go top to bottom. So we're going to go all the way to the top of the ship here. You can see that looks out over the hangar. Apologies if you heard my dog in the background there. My partner's just got home, so my dog likes to go crazy when it happens. So I've just had to stop recording and put him in his bed. So anyway, yeah, the cartography back there was obviously you can map routes out and stuff like that. So when you have bigger crew, you're going to be able to look back at that. There's some escape pods back there, and then there's stasis pods. Whether you can use them for like security and stuff is another one. And it says EVA there, so make sure you've got a suit on. I've got a helmet and undersuit on, so I'm okay here. And then this is just overlooking the Daymar planets here over the desert landscape. Looking so good. So I'm going to look at my post effects in OBS because it does look overexposed from what I'm looking at here, but it might just be me. So apologies if you are seeing that. There's a massive turret on the top there that you can remote control. So, fun fact as well, when I first flew this ship, I didn't realise you could not control any of the guns. You have to actually have a crew to manage the guns. So I, trying to do a bounty, had to get out the ship. Luckily, the shields are crazy good on this ship. And I had 2 bounties fighting me. And while the ship was rotating, I just set my ship on a kind of like an orbit and got back into one of the gunners and took the bounty out on my own without a crew. So I was quite impressed with that. Very good experience. And here we go into one of the turrets as well, so the remote turrets that you can use in the ship. This is really cool because it will basically protect itself as such. It will like close in, and then as you can see it's going to go out so you can actually mobilize it. So definitely not explaining this that well, but we're going to, once it goes out, you can see it's now, you can compare it from one side to the other now from this angle. So that one's obviously just not going to work, and this one's out. And I think I need to power it on first. I remember the video, I did record this a day ago, so we're just going over, obviously, here we are. I'm trying to find on the switches. I cannot wait to get a proper head tracker. Probably going to go for a Tobii eye tracker. I really do want to get one. Power on, there we go. And that'll be easy, because then I can just move my head to turn it on, so then you can see it moving around here. Look how small my character looks in that gunner seat. Looks like a little TIE fighter. I can't fire as well. I do try and fire, but I think I'm in an armistice zone because I'm next to a mining facility, so it switches off weapons in vehicles, like there's a jammer or something. I'm not sure about the law for that. But and then it goes and closes in, which is pretty cool. And then the guns lock back into place as well. That's pretty cool. So off we go. We're going to go. I've got my med pen out again, just in case, in case I want to just like jab it in me. And I'm always bringing this out by accident, so we're just going to carry it out. You'll probably see it pop out in a minute as well. So we're going to go off to engineering to have a look at that area. So we've had a look at the gunner positions. This is going to be a deck upper and lower. So there's a couple of them actually. So there's actually, I think there's probably 5 lifts in the ship then. There's that one, the small one between the top and the lower bridge, the middle elevator, and then the rear main elevator. So 4, possibly 4. It's too many. And this is just the I was expecting it to open up to a massive jump drive, but this is obviously one of the components. So if I buy a different make one, that's going to look different as well in the ship, and you're going to be able to repair that or do stuff to it as well. And these are just fuel tanks inside here. So every component of the ship, technically, if the science worked for this ship would fly in real life if they built it, because it's like everything's to scale as such. Everything fits in within the diameters of the ship. It's not like the TARDIS where it's bigger on the inside. They always, when they're designing ships in this game, if a door opens and it goes through the outside or through the whole of the ship, then they have to redesign it. They have to make the ship bigger, or they have to change the door size or the design of the door. So obviously that goes inside the wall there, but it wouldn't then come out the side of the ship if it's on the edge of the ship. They'd make sure it stays within its boundaries. And this is the hangar as well, which you can control the roof for, which we'll show you in a second. So you can fly a ship in here. The Pisces, the CAR fits in there nicely. I'm not sure. I don't think my Avenger Titan does, just because of the wingspan on it. But any ships that can fold the wings in, or they're quite narrow, they'll be able to fit in there. So I think that's what they call a triple small hangar, or double XS hangar. There's different sizes. There's XXS, extra, so double extra small, small, medium, and large hangars and stuff. So, and you can open and close the roof out, which is pretty cool. Just from this, and then if your friend's coming into lands, you can man that, which is quite cool. And then we go through here. This is going to be the drone area, I believe. Yep. So this isn't added into the game yet, the drones, but they are working on it. So I'm not sure if that's where they're housed. And then this is the seats to control. There is 2 drone operating seats as well. So you can go in there and fly the drones around, either to do repairs or just scout out and stuff like that. And then I think this is just a component area as well. But again, when they add in that there's a crafting bench kind of thing there, so that'd be cool. They've added crafting in the new PTU, public test universe, so that's going to be interesting when they add a bit more into that. And this is the top bridge, so you got a support seat there, and this is the gunner seat. Yep, so that mans the big gun on top of the ship, and you can actually fly the ship from this top position as well. You've got the joysticks there. The HOTAS, is it? I always get confused with that, with the abbreviations. And then this is just a small little elevator just to get between high deck and low deck, or upper deck and lower deck. So this is the lower deck here with the 2 co-pilot seats and the main pilot seat as well, so you can jump in there and then you'll be able to maybe set destinations and stuff on them. So we jump to a docking collar here, so this will be where you go up to a space station, you'll be able to dock or potentially dock with other ships. I'm not sure if that's going to be a feature. I'm sure that will be on some of the bigger ships, and I think I just get myself stuck in here. And then we're just going to jump to the cargo hold for the next part. So there's me coming out of a docking collar area, and this is straight into the cargo hold. So I do switch to the kind of third-person perspective here. So these are cargo pods, but they're going to be modular potentially, so you can change these into maybe mining ones, or refinery or medical potentially down there. I'm not sure what kind of capacity it's going to have, but they're going to add a lot of modularity to the ships as well. So this obviously leading to the elevator here. And I'm just going to be showing you a camera from the outside and the 3 areas you can see. So that underbelly, them 3 little points, you're going to be able to drop them cargo pods out. And then that'll just be a void what I walked through there. But you'll be able to drop them pods out and be able to offload them. Or change them out. So that's just through there. And then this is the elevator to the next part of the ship, or to the rest of the ship, down to the cargo hold, which we're going to take. I told a Porky that elevator was leading me back up. I was at the bottom of the ship, so I just went straight back through the cargo holds, and we end up at the kind of hangar here, where I can park in land vehicles, which we do end up putting our vehicle in as well. So here we are. We're going to go out and get our vehicle, so let's shortcut to that. We'll probably be somehow get the buggy onto that ramp. It doesn't sit straight because I'm not on level ground here. We can close the ramp there just so no one like nicks my ship. We don't want someone jumping aboard and grabbing that. That would be embarrassing when halfway through the video I have my ship stolen. And you see the survival estimate, by the way, depending on my gear, because I've got a very basic suit on and it's 64 degrees. Obviously it's regulating some atmosphere temperature and keeping my body temperature certainly a little bit stable, but it's too hot for me to survive more than 52 minutes in this environment. So I'd start losing health at the end of that time. Well, coming up to the end of that time, shall I say. And you can see obviously my hydration and energy next to that as well. So kind of that survival aspect of it as well. So great thing about when you come into these, you've got to do pressurization as well. So cycle, so the cloud door has got to close. The pressurization cycle goes through and then you can get into the building. So that will happen with any place that's got a limited to no atmosphere outside. So this moon has got an atmosphere, but a very limited amount. It's like gravity is very low. So you're going to see when I drive this vehicle now, we're going to spawn it out. It's going to spawn directly outside. So these are all the vehicles we've got here. C8 Pisces medical ship variation is the C8R. That's just the basic Pisces, which is exploration, which goes alongside the exploration Carrick that we're in. That's kind of the category it's in, but it does have very good guns as well alongside that. That's the Ursa rover. Very good for driving across terrain like this. And we're going to be driving Tumbrel there. And then go through the cycle again, as I say. We've got to do that. Just a realism. Doesn't take too long, but you'll have these at space stations when you go out on outdoor landing pads and stuff. And here we are. We're jumping into the vehicle. So we're going to do some driving now, and I'm just going to talk you through some tips and some stuff that I've learned and stuff that other races are going to be doing on the day. So we've got a power thing on to start off with. You'll see the bottom left there, there's that kind of like almost looks like a flux capacitor. So that is going to be down to power. You notice I've just lowered it down to, I think T is for traction, W for weapons, and S, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think what that will be like for, because there's on the ship you'll have 3 different systems as well. Oh, S for shields. I'm not sure this actually has got shields, but you can kind of see the size of this ship. Oh, and I just drove straight into it. Yeah, great. Well done, Max. So very spongy suspension on these buggies. So the tip is, it has got a boost built into it, and you're going to see me rapidly increase speed. I'll let you know when I do hit it. So this is where I decide to go to the starting point, which I believe really good steering here. I just switched over from mouse and keyboard to controller, so bear with me. I think this is me thinking, oh, let's get a screenshot quickly. And I'm trying to get my bearings now, and then this is the starting point over here, and I'm hitting invisible posts. No, you can see them, they're very, very thin though. So this is the starting point, I believe, on this landing pad. And it's kind of like directly straight ahead of us, where you see that kind of white kind of moon. Is it a planet in the distance ahead of me? That's kind of like the direction we're going towards. It'd be really cool if we could use the constellations, especially at night time. I've not even thought of that. But we'll be starting off around this point, and then you'll notice when I hit this boost there, just before I went off the ramp. But you do lose a lot of time when you're hitting the air, so the tip is, especially not to land into some of the rocks like this, and it's a bit going in the air, you've got less control. So staying on the ground, you can go faster. So you'll notice right now, if I lose traction on the floor, I'm just floating there and the speed does drop, and then I hit boost like that, and all of a sudden my speed picks up. But then you go into canyons like this and you lose control and you lose speed as well, and also you can lose kind of time and pace on your competitors by not having control in the air. Example proven straight away there. So that's obviously with a low gravity on this moon, and then there's massive craters. So we've kind of pathed out a route where we don't go through as many canyons, and we kind of stick to the best kind of smoothest terrain possible. So rather than going in a straight line to the finish line, people are going to be much faster to finish the race if they're avoiding these kind of obstacles and having to drive through rocks and over craters and stuff like this. As you can see, me just hitting my wheel there slightly, and I've spun out of control, almost facing the opposite way. So now I've got to spin around real quick. So recorrecting your path, and I'm also my camera position is, at this point, is I was practicing just spinning my camera around while moving the opposite way. It's very hard when your camera's moving one way and you're trying to steer the other way, like the inverted controls. At that point there, I just hit one rock before that, and it pushed me into the bigger rock, and a few of them hits, and you know, you're probably going to blow up or be in a bit of a trouble. So yeah, all about keeping that suspension compressed, keeping on the ground, wheels to the ground, having more control, and also managing the camera angles as well. Now, I'm not sure input method what everyone's going to be using, but I use a controller for the driving, and then just mapping a button to be able to switch between cameras to see where my route is and stuff. So there, hit a rock and I'm spinning out of control. So it's a good example of like keeping to the actual flat surfaces and dodging all these rocks. I know on the second part of the course it is much rougher, and there's a lot of dodging of rocks going to be happening, and trying to find the flattest part of the track possible. As you can see, it does level out, and that's the lovely thing about this planet, all procedurally generated, and it is a whole planet. Obviously this moon is not the biggest one in the obviously the actual planets rather than the moons are bigger, so you can imagine how much surface area and like variety there's going to be on there. But when Pyro, the new system coming out, which is, let's hope for this year, shall we, but that comes out, they're looking to add more variation on the planets, so that it goes from like lush greens to like a bit more barrenness, rather than this planet's just complete desert. But you do get that in systems. It's realistic. You look at, for instance, Mars and our system, it is very kind of derelict and kind of like just like this, with just sand and limited gravity, and looking all the same. Whereas obviously Earth, we've got water, we've got deserts, we've got so it's going to be cool when they start adding that variety, like a planet like Earth with every kind of different terrain and very unique areas, like a massive mountain in one area. They've added a river system, massive canyon river, so it's kind of cut a canyon through the system. I'm trying to remember what planet it's on. I think it's on Microtech, and basically people are racing through the canyon in their ships because it's a really cool spot to do it, obviously. But yeah, just the scope of that's going to be really cool. So here's me. As you can see, now it's starting to get dark here. Now, unfortunately in this footage I don't show any like complete midnight darkness, but I'm with the rules, we're meant to be over a certain kind of altitude above, just so we're not crashing into each other and stuff like that. But hopefully we're going to be able to get close enough to use our torches, and so torches, our headlights and our ship lighting, to be able to light up the area ahead of our teammates if we do end up having to drive at the night. We might get daytime all the time. It depends if we're chasing the sun and keeping in the daylight. It all depends on when the race starts within the server, obviously, where the planet is rotating. That's another thing with the realism, how and you can see how I switched to first person mode here, by the way, just to show you kind of how hard it is to be able to see things once you've got any air. It's much better to stay in this third person just to get a bit of perspective, to plan ahead once you're in the air where you're going to go next, especially if you like near here. I'm spinning out, I'm going towards this rock, I'm going to hit right just to make sure I don't hit it. There we go, and I managed to dodge that rock. So it's all going to be that, and then hopefully I do hit a bit of speed here, and then I should be hitting boost. There we go, you can see that speed pick up, but it does start getting a bit harder to control, and I'm going towards rocks. Oh, and then there's just like a massive, like, not cliff, but a crater. It's just how unpredictable this terrain is. Not one bit is the same. It is all, and here it is. This is the example I'm showing you where, like, I'm going in the air and I can't even see that rock ahead of me. So managed to get over this one. But we're going back to our Carrick here, and you can see the sun setting in the distance. So we're kind of chasing the daylight, but I think we're going the opposite way. So it's going to get darker and darker as we get into the race much quicker, because the sun's going to be setting behind us. But if it is even daylight when we start the race, we might be starting at night time, and we might be driving into the sun rising. But that would be pretty cool, just to be able to see the difference between a day and a nighttime race, and yeah, just to show the scope of the game as well, like the vastness and the diversity of, like, the planet's actually having a rotation and built in, and sun setting and rising and, on a moon. It's just yeah, it's just really immersive, I think, and it's really going to be really cool in the race. If hopefully if we get maybe half and half, or majority daytime would be pretty cool, just I think, because then the filming will be quite good. And it would be great if it's just like nighttime at the end of the race, because then you can just kind of see the headlights going across the track from the aerial shots and stuff as well. Hopefully as well, by the way, I've got a friend that's going to be joining the VIP 890 jump that's going to be flying over the top of the race, because we're one of the official sponsors, the org I'm part of, and kind of racing under. They've sponsored it, so we have like a few spots on the VIP ship which will be flying overhead, which will be pretty cool. So here is a nice little shot, just fast forwarded to me taking off with a Carrick, and I saw Crusader in the background. It just looks epic, this does. And as I'm taking off, obviously we'll be able to see a bit more of the massive gas giant that the Crusader Industries build their ships on. Basically, there's a floating platforms, and it is pretty cool to look at over there. The clouds and stuff in that atmosphere is amazing. So anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed watching the video. Please consider hitting that thumbs up, hit that like button, to keep keep up to date with Star Citizen information. I'm going to be starting my podcast back up soon, and I'm also going to do a little info news stuff on Star Citizen, along with some obviously content and game loops as well within the game, like me just trying out mining and bounty hunting as well with my joystick, and seeing how much I improve with that and testing it out. Hopefully it's a good experience for you guys to watch, as just someone new to the game and experiencing some stuff for the first time is, I think, pretty enjoyable, just to kind of see someone's perspective on. And also, just if you're thinking about trying the game, it's going to be another cool thing to not be too informative, or just me to be presumptuous of expecting you guys to know exactly what I'm talking about. So because I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to have to explain things as I find them out myself. So yeah, please let me know your feedback in the comments. Hit that subscribe and thumbs up. Hit the like button if you're watching on one of them platforms that has the like button, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for the Daymar Rally. If you're watching it after the Daymar Rally, I'm sure I will put up a post of some footage I'm able to grab. Hopefully I'm able to run a replay buffer. If not, I'll try and record it or download the stream as well, but I'll be live for it as well, so please check out the VOD if you've missed it. And hopefully next time you're watching, I'm going to be a better flyer than in the Carrick, because it is a bit of a oil rig in regards to handling and control. Me just swaying about like a drunk man here. Definitely need to get the breathalyzer out of me on this flight. I do wonder if there's going to be any like cop ships in the game where you're just going to be able to check if someone's driving really badly, if their character's okay. Anyway, I digress. Thank you everyone for watching. Really do appreciate everyone watching these videos and showing support. Much love. Peace out.
Like I'm touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. Yo, like I'm touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah.